I am at a loss with my mother after she sold my car to buy a new one. How do I handle this? I am at a breaking point with my mother after she sold my car so she could buy herself a new one. The way she handled and communicated this whole situation has brought up so much pain and frustration within me that I no longer can continue to brush it aside. I apologize for the length of this post and I tried to give as much context as I could. Some background on my relationship with her. For starters, she had a very traumatic childhood and a terrible relationship with her own mother. My therapist has noted that a lot of her behavior points towards someone who suffers a trauma-caused personality disorder. Of course she is not diagnosed nor is aware of this. When she is not triggered by something, her personality could best be described as that of a child with the intelligence of and body an adult. When she is triggered by something or someone, she completely shuts down and becomes extremely unreasonable and gets incredibly defensive. As for how this has impacted me, I have no emotional relationship with her. Growing up I always noticed how she was not like other moms. She wouldn't take my 17-year-old sister or I shopping, do get our nails done, stereotypical mother/daughter stuff I can think of. Though she never had any issue doing those things herself. I gave up on asking for stuff for Christmas because she always got us what she thought we would like, which was typically clothes that a middle-aged woman would wear. This is when we were 8 to 12. She didn't allow us to watch cable TV, like Disney Channel, because she thought it was too violent. She never even taught us about our periods or how to properly use sanitary products. The list goes on. I learned at a very young age never to talk to her when I was upset or ask questions because she would get triggered and start dismissing my feelings of hurt even though it was never directed at her. I remember when I was 13 and going through puberty, I told her I was severely depressed and being bullied at school and the summer camp that she would force me to go to for 2 months every summer. She proceeded to freak out and scream at me saying that I had no idea what I was talking about. The list goes on. As a result I pretty much cut myself off from her as much as possible because there was no point in trying to communicate with her or rely on her for anything besides basic parent-child expectations and kept all of my anger, frustration, and pain to myself. As an adult, it's a trickier situation. Besides, when she's triggered, she acts like a happy-go-lucky kid. She will reach out and talk to me, but I keep it professional because if I don't, I'll get my feelings hurt. Now to this car situation. I've had this car since I was 16. She did not buy this car yet due to insurance, the title is in her name. I've been paying for gas, oil changes, and basic maintenance since I was 16. I've always had a job, especially so that I could buy my own clothes, shoes, and have money for any sort of activities I wanted to do because she would not give me money. I am in my final year of university completing an engineering degree, and due to the brutal amount of school work, I do not have a job, so the car has been at my parents' and not with me. A few weeks ago, I had a really wonderful mini staycation over the holiday weekend. It was a great weekend, even with her, until right before I had to leave to go back to school she tells me that she has decided to sell my car because she wants to buy a brand new one. She had all weekend to do this and waited till last minute. It took everything in me not to go ballistic because I knew that would do nothing but make the situation worse. I decided to use the logical approach with her and calmly stated that my car was only worth maybe $2,000 and that it would not cover barely anything on a new $60,000 plus vehicle. She proceeded to switch from nice mom to triggered mom and proceeded to tell me that I am entitled and a financial burden to her and start dragging me through the mud. She said I didn't know what I was talking about and that she didn't understand why I was so upset. I proceeded to remove myself from the conversation because I could no longer remain calm. A few days later I tried talking to her again, this time with my 68 father involved. I told her that I was extremely hurt by what she said to me and that it was unacceptable for her to say those things as well as sell my car. While she didn't freak out again, she didn't change her mind and said that she wouldn't be making the decision for quite a while, so I shouldn't be this concerned about it. Yesterday I woke up to a text message in our family group chat of a picture of a brand new minivan with a cheerful "let's start planning our next vacation" text from her. She also texted me saying that she wanted to come up and see me at school because she misses me. Like she didn't just up and sell my car. I am infuriated beyond measure to the point where I don't know what to do or say. I cannot continue to brush everything under the rug and act like everything is okay just so that she remains calm. Do I directly express my anger at the car situation alone? Not say anything? I don't know what to say to her literally without it just being a string of angry attacking comments coming from a lifetime of hurt. Comment. It doesn't seem like she provides any value to your life to remain in it. The older you get, the more you'll realize that the time and energy you do have is best allotted to people who make a positive impact in your life. She doesn't fit that bill here. If you're not beholden to her in any way, I would start initially by just limiting contact. I would try to refrain from venting because it serves no purpose. She won't understand any of it, and it'll only get you more frustrated when she tries to turn things back around to you. After limiting contact, I would suggest going no contact with her. You can revisit this at your own discretion, but for your own sake, this is probably the best course for you now. She's a user and a taker. Once you are able to live independently, begin gently fading from her life. Take longer to answer texts and respond only selectively. Be too busy to come home during the holidays. If she realizes she's losing control over one of her exploitable resources, she will try to open a conversation, or she may even send your father to do her dirty work. It's a trap. Continue your slow drift into very low contact. Give her nothing but vague, polite platitudes. Never apologize, never explain. Your mom will be fine without you. Users and takers are always fine, they know how to find new supplies. Your job is to be fine without her now. I can't believe you sold my car to get something for yourself. I expect you to pay me back then for all the money I put into it with a portion of the sale price. If not, I will see you in court and we will never have a relationship again. Not great that the car is in her name. This is a perfect case for small claims court. Do you have all the receipts and proof of everything you put into the car? Texts from her calling it your car? There is nothing you can say to her that will get her to change her behavior or to understand the pain she has caused you. How soon can you be completely independent? Of course you wish you had a normal mom who treated you with love, we all want that. But life dealt you had bad starting hand. Don't blow up on her. It won't change anything. Or you can do it and keep her away. But absolutely tell her you don't want to see her for now and that you are busy. She did this because she could. So do whatever you can to cut her off. She won't change. Next story 2. I was my boyfriend's second choice. I started dating my current boyfriend last November 2022. We dated casually for 2 months before it occurred naturally that we were only spending time with each other. I let him know that I wasn't seeing anyone else, and since he wasn't either, asked if he wanted to be exclusive. Can we just keep things the way they are now, was the answer I received. Hearing this hurt my ego, but I decided to continue seeing him. Everybody's timelines are different, maybe his was slower than mine? 5 months in, I learned that he has never been in a long-term relationship before. In fact, ours was the longest one. I don't know, it just never happened. Never got the chance, I guess, was his answer when I asked why. He is reserved and not the most socially apt, so this didn't surprise me at all. It was a slow burn, but getting to know him was so lovely. It was like watching a flower bloom. The more time we spent together, the more I fell. He was hilarious, witty, and smart. Nobody could make me laugh the way he did. 6 months in, I am going out of the country for 2 weeks. I asked for exclusivity again and he agreed to seriously think about it while I was gone. Coming back, he was very happy to see me but admitted that he did not want to be exclusive and was considering seeing other people again. I was sad of course, but non-monogamy isn't for me, so I left. After 2 months of no contact, we connected again. He said he missed me and should have prioritized me when we were together. He'd gone on 4 dates with 4 different women and all the dates were sub-par. It made him realize what we had was special. We picked up where we left off and very soon were boyfriend and girlfriend, committed and exclusive. Since then it has been a very happy time for the both of us. We're meeting each other's friends and families, thinking about the future, and have traveled together. Although happy now, I can't help but get anxious over the fact that I was not the first choice. To be truly honest, it casts doubt that his feelings for me are true. Maybe he is settling. Would it bother you that it took someone so much trial and error before committing to you? Or am I catastrophizing? Comment. Look, there's no right answer here. It doesn't sound like he's lied to you or been dishonest. He wasn't ready when you were, now he is, and things seem to be going well. Some people would have walked away the moment they asked for exclusivity and the other person wasn't ready. Some people would have done what you did and stuck it out for longer. Some people would have never even brought it up. If you find you can't move past it, it's not right to hold it over his head and you should walk away. But it may be something you want to bring up and discuss with him to see if what he says puts you at ease. My 2 cents, I know a couple whose relationship started basically the same way yours did. Now they've been happily married for 5 years and had a baby last year. I know another couple who has a storybook romance meet cute, dated for 2 years and now don't speak. Everyone's different. I married my wife feeling that she was settling for me. She's 10 years older and mid-30s when we married. She wanted to be married before starting a family. The clock was ticking. Years later, it still haunts me. I'll always feel that I was a safe compromise rather than being someone she truly wanted. It hurts. This is an entirely personal choice, and really depends on how strongly you feel about how you got together versus your relationship now. I would not have gone out with him again after we first stopped seeing each other, but you are so past that and even happy now. In the strictest sense, everyone settles whenever they form any kind of agreement. I settle on a product at the store. I'd love to have the absolute top of the line for free, but the settlement is whatever I choose for my budget. It is difficult to hear, I think, but the same kind of thing applies to relationships. We have idealized images in our heads, discover that these idealized images generally do not exist, and then settle for what actually exists and works for us. You too. You are also settling for him. That's not a bad thing. It's the recognition that this is a good fit, even if every dream is not instantly fulfilled. By that same token, had someone that you had went out with before him and shared your interest, you and he wouldn't be together. Right now you're playing the what if game in your head, and all that's going to do is drive you crazy. Sounds like he was sort of a late bloomer, didn't really date much, like you said, was trying to figure out what he wanted, and it wasn't on the same time frame as what you were looking for. He was honest with you, he hasn't lied, at least from what you said. He didn't cheat on you. It just took him longer to get to the same place that you were at. That's what relationships are. You weren't his second choice. That means he wanted someone else. We all date and go through experiences to learn what we want and grow as a person. You are basically saying that since he wasn't perfect immediately, you can never trust him? Instead of focusing on all this BS, what about how he treats you? Figure out your trust based on his effort level in the relationship, not because he had some very normal thoughts way back when.